Need content. Fuck it. Vegeta versus Thor. Go. This is one of the more recent Death Battle episodes, so they don't get as much wrong, but they still got a bunch of stuff wrong. So, you know the gist of it. We're not going to use any content released after this episode's air date, blah, 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 blah.
He can use Ki to fly at faster than light speeds.
Like I said in Goku vs. Gojo, Vegeta has multiple higher-end speed feats ranging from infinite to even potentially irrelevant speed feats, depending on how you interpret some things. During the Buu Saga, Goku and Vegeta were about relative. Goku in the previous arc had managed to achieve an infinite speed feat by traversing a majority of Otherworld. Vegeta is also relative to Goku during the Goku Black arc, and Goku is able to perform an inaccessible speed feat by existing within an erased timeline, which would grant Vegeta inaccessible speed as a result. And during the Granola arc, Granola is stated to be faster than instant transmission, which itself is stated to be literally instant, which would be another inaccessible speed feat. If you want context on what infinite, inaccessible, and immeasurable mean in terms of speed feats, watch my Sonic vs. Mario video and my Goku vs. Gojo video. But yeah, this light speed narrative that Death Battle's trying to push right now, that shit ain't gonna fly on my Dragon Ball. The fuck yeet.
The dude was strong enough to destroy the Room of Spirit and Time, an entirely separate dimension, just by powering up.
A lot of people don't think this feat is actually that impressive. However, when you look into the cosmology of Dragon Ball, it is actually incredibly impressive, but not unheard of. The Room of Spirit and Time has its own flow of time outside of the normal universes. Because of this, if you wanted to destroy the Room of Spirit and Time, you would actually have to destroy the time that exists within it. So Vegeta being able to bust the Room of Spirit and Time, which has its own flow of time, would put Vegeta at 4D at least, which is not unheard of for Dragon Ball. If you watched my other videos, you know that Dragon Ball has potential 5D scaling and up. And as we're going to cover in a little bit, even within Dragon Ball Super, excluding other continuities in outside media, 4D and up scaling is actually not impossible for Dragon Ball characters. But whatever, let's just continue.
When Goku fought Beerus, he nearly destroyed the universe. And that was the very first time he ever went Super Saiyan God.
Considering we've measured Dragon Ball's Universe 7 to be up to 13 times bigger than our own.
This is inaccurate. The Dragon Ball Mortal Realm, which is this little part down here, is stated to be infinite multiple times across various guidebooks. And then there's Heaven, which resides in Otherworld. Heaven being stated multiple times to be the size of the Mortal Realm. And then you have all this space in between. You have the Grand Kaios planet, which is stated to have a universe inside of it as well. You have Hell, which is stated to be significantly larger than Heaven. And then you have the realm of the Kaioshin, which is stated to be at least 1/10 the size of the total macrocosm. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Dragon Ball's macrocosm is made of multiple infinite-sized spaces, or potentially even larger. 13 times our observable universe does not even come close to the size of the Dragon Ball macrocosm. And that's ignoring the fact that Otherworld is a potentially higher dimensional space. Both Goku and the Super Exciting Guide says that Otherworld is without time, and there are statements saying that Otherworld transcends the mortal realm, which would put it a dimension above the mortal realm. There are also statements from Koyama saying that the Dragon Ball universe is a mathematically higher universe than our own, but a lot of people disagree with a lot of what he says, so I'll be discounting that for this video. And yes, I've seen you guys in the comments saying that Goku has 70, 90 scaling, which go off, I guess.
Similarly, Blue Vegeta matched base Top, and needed Blue Evolve to keep up with Top's God of Destruction form, which is extremely similar to Ultra Ego in theme and purpose. Given this is the best current example of a measurable form akin to Ultra Ego, we can assume that Ultra Ego's boost in power, at least initially, could be extremely similar in terms of a percentage increase.
These are not equivalent forms. Ultra Ego and God of Destruction Topo are two different things. If anything, the Ultra Ego multiplier would be more akin to Ultra Instinct. Considering Blue Vegeta was getting absolutely dominated by Granola, and then in Ultra Ego he was doing better than MUI Goku, you could probably assume that Vegeta in Ultra Ego was even stronger than MUI Goku at that point.
With that in mind, Vegeta at his peak could destroy a universe roughly 260,000 times over.
Now hold on a second there. Not only did you forget to take into account increases of power that would have happened after Battle of Gods, Goku and Vegeta at the end of Dragon Ball Super are incomprehensibly stronger than they were at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super. But they didn't even take into account the fact that Goku absorbed the Super Saiyan God form into his base form. This is confirmed in the anime of Dragon Ball Super and in the Dragon Ball Z film Battle of Gods. Now, this isn't stated in the manga, but very clearly they're using a sort of comp Dragon Ball Super Vegeta. So Vegeta should be that strong in his base form minimum, even stronger considering Goku actually surpassed the power of Super Saiyan God during the Battle of Gods arc. Even the episode title confirms this.
And the fact that Thor was way faster gave him a lot of leeway to use that extra combat experience.
Applying Vegeta's transformation multipliers to the shockwaves from Goku and Beerus' punches, Vegeta should be able to fight at nearly 300 quintillion times the speed of light.
But scaling to Ares moving within Plague Time? Thor would be over 70 quadrillion times faster.
I already brought up a few speed feats for Vegeta earlier, but since they really want to just rub it in my nose that Thor's faster, I'm gonna give you some more. By the time of the Tournament of Power, Vegeta would scale to Goku vs. Hit, where Goku was literally forcing himself into the future to combat Hit's time skip, which would grant Goku and Vegeta by proxy immeasurable speeds. Goku and Jiren are stated to have out of this dimension speed, which could mean literally anything, so take that as you will. Jiren is also stated to transcend time. Jiren at this point was heavily suppressed, and Vegeta by the end of the Tournament of Power would scale to that. And even if you don't think so, a hypothetical anime Ultra Ego Vegeta most likely would, considering he'd be stronger than Goku at that point. Goku being stronger than Jiren, so all of them would scale to transcending time, which would be another immeasurable, if not irrelevant speed feat. Again, if you're confused, watch my other videos.
Even without absorption, Vegeta's ki reserves are not infinite, and many of his battles have ended with him at low energy. He was exhausted by the end of the Tournament of Power, which lasted about 1 hour in total.
Meanwhile, Thor fought an army for over a month straight.
This is not equivalent. The Tournament of Power was filled with fighters from across the multiverse. Essentially, it was an 80-fighter battle royale filled with the strongest each universe had to offer. Now, to be fair, I don't know too much about Thor's feat there, so maybe Thor was fighting really strong people too. I don't know. I think it's unlikely, but I haven't read the comics, so you know what? Crucify me in the comments. I don't even care. I'm saying that comparing these two isn't fair. A 48-minute tournament with the strongest in the multiverse constantly on you versus a month fighting against an entire army of more than likely fodder. Different things.
Vegeta was never going to go down easy, but Thor's raw power, speed, and devastating godly abilities were too much for the Prince of all Saiyans.
Just wanted to get something out quick, because the next couple videos are probably going to take a while, so I'll be doing a couple more of these debunks in the meantime, and then I'm going to work on the actual videos in between. Basically, you get content, I get views, I get money. I think we all win here.
We already know the smell of the